don't know what I'm doing. All right, what's up, everyone? We are going to do the downed and revive system today. I'm just going to get into the programming today. I haven't had time to do the actual animations, so I'm just going to show you the code, really. First thing, though, that I do need to show you, I don't think I have anything in the mannequin. Actually, I can kind of show you what I did right here. There's a really cool programmer that I found on Unreal's forum who kind of showed the base for this code. So you're going to go right off of this begin play, and then you're going to bind event on health changed, and you're going to get the health component. Its custom event is downed state, and then obviously you'll plug that in from the new value. Check to see if it's equal to 0. If it is true, you can kind of skip this one. I have is downed. But basically you would go to then apply gameplay effect, and it's this GE instant, or the heal instant, and then I'm trying to think, is this one me? Sorry, I did modify the code a little bit, so I'm not too sure what was theirs, what's mine. I'm trying to think, what am I checking here? I'm checking to see. Oh, I'm running a delay. Sorry. I'm running a delay for 5 seconds. This is a custom macro. I think if you saw one of my other videos, I showed this one to you. I might have to try and find which one that is, but you can kind of see it here. I think I stole this from someone else too. But I think I'm just imprinting this out to the screen. After it's done, then we're going to apply a damage, just a basic damage effect. And we can get the instigator. Apply this. The only thing I didn't like about this, and the only reason why I didn't actually end up going with this on mine, is because when you actually do the damage, it doesn't show. So if you shoot someone, this is just going to show a melee, and you can't actually grab the gameplay effect. There's a spec handle and some pointers in the C code. I'm sure I could write some custom code. You could end up using this, but I don't know. By the time I ended up just writing my code, I was like, it's fine. It does basically the same thing. So I ended up not using this. I'm going to delete this, but I at least wanted to show you guys. There's a decent set of blueprints. So if you're doing just a blueprint game, this actually works, and this works perfectly, right? So this is the delay after 5 seconds, and you could change it to 30. If you notice in my intro video, I think I've got a 5-second delay. I'll show you. You can tie that to, what is it, like a character stat or something like that. But let's go ahead and save this. One of the things that I did do too is I've got a ability, and then I have this gameplay ability revive. So if you know how to do gameplay abilities, you got to create the actual ability, and then you got to make the action revive action, and then you got to put it in your add-ons, and then you got to add it to the mapping, all of that. So, but once you have that, let me go into the revive. So I think it's a basic Lyra gameplay ability, right? So nothing special. In here, I'm doing a bit of and I think I'll show you because I think it's drawing the debug. But I'm just doing a little simple sphere cast right off my character. I'm only going 50 out from the forward vector. I think that just basically, it's like at arm's length or something like that. Once we hit, we're going to check to see if the ability system component is valid. Again, I haven't gotten to the animations yet, so there's nothing here. This is where we will play the animation and then wait, and then we're going to apply a gameplay effect to heal them. So I think this one is heal instant, heal big, so this kind of heals them up all the way. One of the things to note in my game, I'm doing something that's a little bit different, I guess. You can actually show you this. I don't know if this is going to be too loud. Maybe I can talk over this. But I'm not doing actual health. So let me go here, shoot this guy. Let's see, that's the sphere that I'm doing. And then I healed him. Let me actually show you when I set it on multiplayer. Net mode, play as client. So it works in multiplayer. You can see here. And then you can kind of see the second screen behind me. So let's pull out my gun. Let's go ahead and shoot this guy. So I did damage them. And then I'm going to heal him. So again, on my game, I'm not going to be using a health bar or anything like that. So If you do, I just change whatever gameplay effects, see which ones work. There's quite a few, I think. Heal. There's there's one. It was kind of cool. Like if you hold the button down, it slowly heals them. So you could do that. But I think that's only because it like ends the ability and then redoes it. You could always just run a loop off here. But I'm healing all the way. So once you have that, I don't know, I gotta save this. I don't know why that's not saved. Let me show you the code that I've got in here for this. So again, I'm gonna throw this like everything else, to throw it up on my GitHub page for you guys. I put everything down here, and I think these are public. Again, I mean, I always, I never know where to throw it in public. And it's not that I don't know what the rule is. I do know what the rules are. I never know where I'm gonna use it, right? Which is why I end up throwing everything in public. So these are the camera ones from previous ones, driver from previous one. So is healed. I have is healed. I have is was downed. Is downed, is healed, and then is was downed. I know it was an inside joke I had years ago with some idiot friends of mine. But I guess it's a bool, so it was downed, but because it's a bool, it was down. It doesn't make sense. I'm an idiot. Sorry. But anyways, this is the grit. So remember how I was mentioning it's a 5-second timer. So grit, I've got, and this one probably does need to be in public because you'll access this if you're doing any sort of, I don't know, like RPG system. Agility, I think actually came from my, let's see, I actually got to change this. Agility characteristic. I think on my fall damage, I'll show you. I think I ended up changing it to agility. Yeah, so grit. So this is something that you can then change. So I only have it as 5 seconds just to make it easier. I don't think I have anything in here that I changed. On this one, let me just double check. Set camera landed. No. So then in the health component, that's in the LyraCharacter.h. In the HealthComponent.h, did I have to do anything crazy? I try and always mark everything, right? So if I've modified it, I always put little comments to show what so I think I had to add or include the gameplay effect and then the gameplay tag container, the Lyra character, and then the Lyra gameplay, or I'm sorry, the U gameplay effect. So those were all classes that I had to include. Yeah, so I did have to build a struct. So what this struct does, and I don't know, I'll have to double check. I was doing a whole bunch of different things. I don't know if I'm using every single one of these. I think I am. Yeah, I think I am. So anyways, so this is a struct. This is what a struct looks like in C++. I think if you've seen any of my previous videos, I love structs way faster than maps, better than maps. But this is what it's going to look like. It's just a use struct, and then I called mine carbon lethal snapshot. So basically what this is doing is this is going to grab a snapshot of, I forget, when I get into the CPP, I'll show you. But this is, I'm just saving everything. So I'm going to save the instigator, the causer, which is the weapon, the source object, which is the actual weapon instance, the source, and I think this one actually, these two, I don't think you need, to be honest. I'm saving them. I don't know if you need them for what I'm doing, and I only have this for the feed, because again, the things that I did in blueprints, if that's all you want, if you don't need the weapon kill feed, you don't need to do all the C++ code. You can run straight off the blueprints, which is great. So, but I want the feed. Whether or not I even use it or not, I don't know, but I figured I want it. So source tags, this is one of the important ones. So this is actually where you get, I think it's like a little pistol icon that shows up, and it's in this source tag, which is what, you can see let me see if I can scroll back through sometimes I scroll right past it in the log. Maybe is false, loading screen. No, maybe I'd have to go kind of far back just because I think I was healing them, which I'm not going to make you guys sit through that. Maybe it's this dynamic tag is the one that you need. I forget. I do both. I'll show it in a CPP. And then this damage effect. So this is applying the same effect, right? Is it? Maybe whatever. No, I know this does apply the effect. I'm just trying to think. This is the one that I could not get into blueprints. I'm sure there's a way that you could get into blueprints. I didn't know what the syntax for it was. Kept getting some errors, so I just ended up doing it in here. Again, all this stuff is standard. What did I add? Okay, so everything after here I added. So this is for my fall damage. This is the lethal snapshot, right? So I'm assigning a lethal snapshot. This is the struct. This is the damage timer. This is a timer. This is my variable name. This is the f timer handle. I've got then a bool is death pending. I don't think I ended up using this one, so I think you can take this one out. I think I did something different. I don't know. This is the function to save. Like I mentioned, we're going to save the snapshot of the damage effect that's coming in, and then I've got a bleed out timer. And I'm actually getting, this is the function, I'm getting it from the character, so that's where I'm getting this grit. And then the bleed out death, this is, ignore this one, I gotta delete this one. But you call this one from the timer in this one, and I'll show you. It took me a little bit to figure it out. There's another dude that I found somewhere that had a great, I think it's Tom Lumen, maybe? Awesome dude, by the way. He's got awesome website with tons of tutorials. It makes me feel like an idiot. But I think I grabbed his timer. I ended up having to modify it, obviously. Okay, so but where I actually run everything is this out of health. So in the blueprints right here, right? So you would be running, oh, I think I do it. It's on health changed. So you'd be checking it every single time. This is only checking it when your health reaches 0, right? So I think you have this if code and this hashtag basically says that this only runs on the server. And then this is the actual code that is standard. And then I added all of this. So let me walk you through this real quick. So I'm checking to make sure that the ability system component and the damage spec are validated. Is that what it validated? Yeah. I don't know why I have this down. No, maybe this is, sorry, this is the standard code. Yeah, so that's the validity check that Unreal built in. My code starts here. I don't actually remember what this one does. I think you need it. I don't know if this is instantiating. Is it? Maybe, or maybe I'm grabbing this one. So then I am checking to see, I'm getting the hit results. Okay, so this is where I do, so, and it's been a little bit since I programmed this, sorry, which is why I'm always like, what the hell did I wrote? I guess I should check notes. Oh, this is my headshot. Yeah, okay, sorry, I'm an idiot. So I'm getting the context handle from this. So this is then where I'm getting the head bone. So notice when I was showing the, what was it? When I was showing the, with the demo, sorry. When I'm showing the demo and I shoot them in the head, they die instantly. So basically, I want headshots to be one hit, right? And so in the, let me go back out. I don't know what this was. Sorry. So in the mannequin, it's under meshes. It's not under meshes. It's under rigs. The physics asset. Right, so I'm grabbing the head. Where is the head? Head, right? So if I'm making a headshot, okay, then they die instantly, right? Because I'm going to kick out of this and I'm going to go to run the standard code. Because if it's not named head, right? So if I hit anywhere else other than head, if I hit head, I exit and I run through the normal code. But if it's not the head, then I'm going to now grab the Lyra character. Okay, so this is how we get the Lyra character, and then again we're validating it. This code gets a little complicated, and to be honest, I might mess up as I'm going through it. But a lot of coding is logic and if-then statement. I mean, this is all if-then statements. Anyways, if my character was not downed previously, if he was downed previously, he'll get kicked out. And one of the things that I actually have to do in here is I'm actually going to have to, and I'll probably get to this when I start getting into the animations. I'm going to probably have to get, I'll have to cast to the Lyra character maybe, and then get the variable was downed, right? I'll have to get that, and I'll have to probably run some validity check on that, or set it. Is this healed? Yeah. Set it, unset it. I forget which one I'm going to do. But basically, so if I was downed, right? Again, I'm going to get kicked out and go through the normal damage and kill my character. But if he's not, right? That's what this symbol means, the exclamation point. So if I am not was downed, I go to the next one. And so now here is downed, right? And so again, I don't have any animation in my, let me go to, it's going to be under animations in my base. I think there's another person that did, was it swimming animations? Very similar. I'm probably just, I don't know if I'll do a video on the animations. I mean, I will on how to do it, but actually setting it up, I might not, but how to actually get into it with the variables and stuff here. 100% I'll do that one, but I might not show actually how to set up the states and just kind of point you to, I think it's Nance Dev Diaries, who's got some great videos on how to set up other states for characters. So if you're downed, you can limit the movement speed, stuff like that. So, but if you're downed and you're shot, then again, you get kicked out and you die. So this is if you're not downed, you're going to go to the next one, right? So I know there's a lot of checks in here. The next one then is, oh, we're setting downed true. So right, if you're not downed, then you now are downed, right? And that's what I'm going to have in the animation blueprint. I'll be checking to see if you are downed, you're going to enter into that downed state. So this is where we apply a little bit of health. Notice when I healed him, and I'll have to do that, when I healed him in here, there was like some funky green shimmery stuff that went everywhere. This does not, right? So we're going to grab the ability component and the health component, and then we're applying 1. So we're going to add just 1 health, right? And I think you saw that in the demo that I did, not the initial intro demo, but in the one demo I did, he's got one health. And then after we apply this, and I guess you could put this as in its own function down here with all my other functions, but I didn't. It was just, what is it? It's like 3 lines of code. It's not that bad. I guess it's technically 2 lines of code. So I figured I'd run it right in this function here. But then we're going to call this save lethal spec function, and then a bleed out function. And then we're going to return, right? So we're going to kick out. So the return stops it so we don't go on to this code. We get kicked out. So, but the first thing that we're going to do is this save lethal spec. And this is where we're going to get the damage effect, right? And then the damage instigator and the damage causer. So these are the 3 items that we need. And then on the bleed out, we're going to grab the Lyra character. Okay, so let's go down to that code. Okay, so here's where my code starts. This is the fall damage code that I did. I gotta take all this because I still do have a whole bunch of stuff printing out. I like to print out stuff into the logs. It makes it easier because I'm stupid and a bad programmer. It makes it easier to find my mistakes. Anyways, okay, so this is the lethal damage spec snapshot function. So this is where we're going to grab the spec handle, all of the spec handle information. So that's this constant. We're going to grab the actor, the instigator, and the causer. So if it's not valid, we kick out. But if it is, right, we're going to clear. So we're going to set it to kind of like a null when you set in blueprints. When you go into blueprints and you set, right, like a variable is not anything. It's kind of what we're doing here. And then we're going to save the variables, right? So the variables that we're grabbing here and putting into this function, we're going to grab this lethal snapshot. We're going to grab the instigator. We're going to grab the causer. The damage definition is coming off of this spec handle. And then we're grabbing the source tags, right? And I think, which one? Are we getting all of the tags, I think? I think we're getting all of the tags. I don't remember if we're getting all of the tags. When we check, I ended up printing it out, and I think it does print out all of the tags. Do I want to go back up in here and waste your time on this video? I might fast forward. Let me see if I can fast forward so you aren't just sitting here. Okay, sorry, so I found it. So it's right here, right? So we are. So we're grabbing, and this is why I print stuff out, right? Because yeah, I think we are grabbing all of the tags, which is going to be, all right, so I've got Lyra instigator, this guy, used the pistol damage with, and then we have this tag, this tag, this tag, this tag. Move it over, damage type basic, this tag, and I'll show you the actual tag that grabs the pistol right here. Gameplay effect, damage type, pistol. So this is the actual tag that we need, right? So that's what we're going to grab. That's the important one. Okay, sorry. Took me a little bit to find it. So after that then, right, we're going to call this bleed out function. And so this, again, is kind of being called from this function up here. So we're going to grab that snapshot. And then the next function that we grab is this bleed out function. And this is the Lyra character that we've casted to, that we've gotten, that we've saved. And then we've got bleed out started, right? So bleed out started. Again, this is why printing to the log is super helpful. It's awesome. I don't remember why I have a get world check in here. Oh, but the timer. Duh, sorry. So this is, I think it was Tom Lumen. If it's not Tom Lumen and it was someone else, I'm so sorry. I'll put a link in the video description to your stuff because you're amazing. But this is the timer function, right? So I'm trying to think of how this works. So this is our variable, the timer variable, right? I don't remember what this is. I think it's this class. I don't know. I copied it. I'm not very smart. But anyways, so then when the timer is done, I have no idea why it's in this order, because this is the first. What are these called again? I forgot what they're called. These are the arguments. The arguments, yeah. I don't know why they're in this order. This order doesn't make sense to me. C++ doesn't make any sense to me at all, but I digress. Okay, so once the timer's done, which we haven't even gotten to the timer, but I guess it's saying, hey, when the timer is done, we'll call this function, and then it's like, oh, hey, here's our timer, right? So this is the function, so we're going to call this function after our timer's done. And this is our timer. So this is our Lyra character, right? So that's why we're passing this Lyra character in here, is we're grabbing that grit, right? Going back in here, this is our grit characteristic. So you could do it's like, hey, you're a badass. You can survive 5 seconds of the gunshot wound, or you can survive 30 seconds of the gunshot wound. And then you could do a timer too on like a UI where like the screen goes black, stuff like that, right? That'd be cool. That's what I'm going to be doing. When I get there, don't steal my idea, or steal my idea. It's awesome. It's not my idea. It's a cool game idea. And then we're not looping. I don't know what that means, to be honest. Again, it's not my not my code. And then bleed out ended after 5 seconds, right? See? And then we call this function. I don't have a I guess I don't have. I thought I had log printed out here. This one took me a while to do, to be honest. I don't even remember what half the code does in here, but this is what you do. I tried to take notes for myself, but okay, so we're going to call this function. Again, we're running it only on the server because you only want, I think what I did is I copied a lot of my fall damage stuff. I copied code a lot for myself from Unreal, everything else. So we want to make sure we're only running this code on the server. But I mean, you can see in the demo it works. So if we're not healed, right, so we're going to get the health. And if it is still equal to 1, right, because remember, we're setting our health to 1. So if we're setting our health to 1, that means we've not been healed, right? If it's, if it's not 1, that means that we have been healed, right? And so then we're going to get out of here. However, if it is 1, that means we haven't been healed, so we're still down after the bleed out function, right? Because this is being called after the timer. So it's kind of after the time that we bleed out. And now we're going to get the ability system component. I'm trying to think. Again, I copied a lot of this code. I'll have to go through. So this is the damage effect. And we're going to apply this. We're going to make the spec handle. So we're going to grab the instigator. We're going to make the instigator that we've grabbed. We're going to add them back in. We grab the source object, add it back in. Here, I think we're grabbing the damage effect. We only need to cause 1 damage, right? And then we're going to add that back in. And then we're going to apply the source tags. I think T is only the one. I think I only grabbed that one, right? Because remember, we only need, oh, it's right here. Sorry. Whatever the pistol was, I think that's, I don't think I'm applying all of them. I guess I could always write another function and print it out, but I'm only grabbing, because again, it was only that pistol. And I can actually show you where that is in here. So that's going to be under, so I guess if you guys wanted to change some stuff, you could see. But it's under UI, user interface. It's not HUD, it's under scoreboard? No. Notifications. Elimination feed. And then here. So it's this entry, right? So it's going to have your attacker, attackee, and then this. Let's go into the code right here, and it's this set weapon icon, right? So we're going to grab the attacker's name, the attackee's name, and then this is how it checks it. This is all Unreal. This is all the Lyra standard code. So it's going to set the active widget with the right one. So if the gameplay effect damage type pistol, it's going to grab the pistol. If it's the rifle, it's rifle. Shotgun, shotgun, grenade, grenade. So if you wanted to add your own custom, right? So let's say you have fists. You wanted to add a fist, which I think I've got melee. I should probably update mine and do that. I haven't yet. I will, probably. I will. Anyways, I'll have to add it here. Just copy and paste and then do fists, fisticuffs, melee. Oh, no, it's got melee. Did I do melee? Maybe I did melee. I don't know. Maybe I did. If I did, that would be awesome. Forgot that I actually did it. Less programming for me, yay. Anyways, so this is where it grabs it, right? So that is the down here, gameplay effect, damage type, no, gameplay effect, damaged, no, yeah, gameplay effect, damage type, pistol, right? So that's where it's grabbing that, and that's in the source codes. Is it this dynamic T? I think I'm just grabbing the one, right? I'm not applying all of these others. I don't know why Lyra. I guess you could, right? I guess that's the thing, is if you needed all of these codes or all of these tags for whatever you want to do, you could add these back in. And then this is where we're applying it to our character, right? So, and then if any of these issues, I've got fall back to the default damage. So this is, does this work? I don't know, maybe it does. I don't know if I've tested this one. I think it works, should work. So if healed, cancel, then exit. Just clearing the handle. Anyways, so that should be it. I'm trying to think. Have I showed you the heal where he doesn't die? Maybe. I don't know. This video is getting a little long. I'll try and edit it down for you, but I'll show you kind of one last demo. Let it gun. Run over here. Shoot him in the head. Sorry, my game's glitching a little bit. It's going a little slow. So if we shoot them in the head, they die, right? If we shoot them in the chest, plus 50% damage. And you could always change that if you wanted to add more or less damage. You change that in the weapon instance, stuff like that. But as of right now, I only have it 50. Shoot them again. So see how they go down to 1. So look at the second screen on the bottom. They go down to 1. After a few seconds, they die if they're not healed. And then you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, it has the correct weapon. So let's go to rifle. Shoot him with the rifle. So I haven't modified this one, obviously, so it's going to take a little bit to shoot him. Okay, so let's let them sit there for a second. They should die, and it should be a rifle that pops up. There you go. See, it's the rifle. So everything is working. So that's it. Like I said, again, I'll get to the, what is it, the animations later, but that's the basic. So hope you liked it. Like, subscribe, all of those things. Leave your comments below, and I will catch you guys next time.